driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Okay, fly. All right. All right. I put in the right group here. Hold on. There we are. Okay. No, we're good. I'm going to talk on tradition 5. You probably kind of already knew that, though, right? Did you know that the preamble covers every single tradition? Did you know that? Good evening, Patricia. Good to see you. I'm just over here with my Coke. Got cola. You know, I still have a drinking problem, just so you guys know. Got water. Got soda. I've got coffee. And not enough hands to drink them all, right? All right. Old AA jokes. Things that, we used to say. Yeah. Should we get started? I think we should. We're almost at the 3-minute mark, so that works. So tradition 5 in here is about 2.5 pages long. Right? And a lot of it's real short, right? So I'm probably going to go through all of it. Let's do some introductions and get started. All right. Dion has his talking juice. They all serve different purposes. That's why. See, the thing is, I smoke a lot, so I have to have something to drink because I talk a lot. Let's not discuss Dion's smoking problem now, though. Busted. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion, and I'll be your host. The hostess with the mostest. Please say hello. Bless you, baby. Please say hello whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. It's funny because my wife probably knows more about the traditions than most people in AA because I sit here all day and do this stuff. All right, tradition 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. Okay. So we do that as a group. Helping newcomers is a we thing. You don't need to be a sponsor yet. Reach out. Reach out. That person's got a day, you got a week. You're probably going to actually get through to them easier than me. All right. Shoemaker, stick to thy last. Better do one thing supremely well than many badly. That is the central theme of this tradition. Around it, our society gathers in unity. The very life of our fellowship requires the preservation of this principle. Alcoholics Anonymous can be likened to a group of physicians who might find a cure for cancer, and upon whose concerted work would depend the answer for the sufferers of this disease. True, each physician in such a group might have his own specialty. Every doctor concerned would at times wish he could devote himself to his chosen field rather than work only with the group. But once these men had hit upon a cure, once it became apparent that only by their united effort could this be done, could this be accomplished, then all of them would feel bound to devote themselves solely to the relief of cancer. In the radiance of such a miraculous discovery, any doctor would set aside his other ambitions at whatever personal cost. Right? Now, we do have personal ambitions. I have personal ambitions, sure. Most of them have to do with helping other people, but maybe I should find a hobby of my own. That is not video games, because video games aren't a hobby. And we are the same. So we come in here thinking we're terminally unique. We think we're different, that our problems are so big and so many that you would drink too. And I probably would. Right? I probably would. But we discover when we get into the meetings that this is a we thing. We don't do it alone. And a group in and of itself needs to bend when newcomers come in. Let's say I am chairing a meeting today, right? And I have decided that we're going to talk about the 10th step. That's what I've decided. All right, we have 4 new people come in, and I stick on that 10th step. What am I going for? Oh, well, I had things that I wanted to say on the 10th step. That's probably what it is, right? Where we think we're doing the right thing, but really we're not. At that point, it's usually best just to go back to basics, read chapter 5, and stick between, the step before the steps 1, 2, and 3. Okay? That's what we're supposed to do. Just as firmly bound by obligations are the members of Alcoholics Anonymous, who have demonstrated that they can help problem drinkers as others seldom can. The unique ability of each AA to identify himself with and bring recovery to the newcomer in no way depends upon his learning, eloquence, or any other special individual skills. We all have it. We all have it. It's called the gift of desperation. We have it. I still have it. You think my gift of desperation laugh? No. Every morning I wake up an alcoholic and I start my day anew. Now, there is no requirement, but you will find out that different people have different things. Some people really enjoy their service work with cleaning up. Some people enjoy their service work with running meetings. Maybe another person's too shy to run a meeting. So maybe we can gather around that person, help them run the meeting, not take it from them. That's codependency. But to help them with it, to guide them, to surround them, and let them know there's really no way you could fuck up an AA meeting. Hey, Gary, good to see you. You can't really mess up an AA meeting, right? The members there just aren't going to allow it. There is another reason for this singleness of purpose, and it is the great paradox of AA. That we know we can seldom keep the precious gift of sobriety unless we give it away. Right, we're back to the Red Hot Chili Peppers giving it away now. Almost everything, huh? Almost everything says, well, gosh, either give it away or help another person. Not even necessarily an alcoholic, but a person. Maybe you went outside and the lady next to you, she's older and she's taking in her groceries. Go fucking help her. Just do it without any expectation of anything in return. Hi, Stacy. Happy belated birthday. It was Stacy's birthday yesterday. So since she's here, I'm going to embarrass her. I didn't ask her how old she was, and I ain't going to. Well, she's 7 years old. So I'll be 7 years old in 7 days. Next Sunday. Next Sunday. All right. So we can't keep this unless we give it away. And I have not seen it happen any other way. Okay? It may look different for each one of us. Oh, you're 6.5. Got it. Okay. Oh, my dyslexia likes to mess with times. That's right. That's right. Okay, you're correct on that. Well, how could you be wrong? It's your sobriety date. Are you glad that I clarified that you are? uh, thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that. I don't usually. Shut up, Dion. What's cool about this birthday is I had 19 years of drinking. I had a total of 19 years. I had 12 years of sobriety. I'm about to have 7. That equals 19, which is neat, but it's really not, I don't know if something special is going to happen. We'll see. Not for a week yet, right? If a group of doctors possessed a cancer cure, they might be conscience stricken if they failed their mission through self-seeking. Yet such a failure wouldn't jeopardize their personal survival. For us, if we neglect those who are still sick, there is an unremitting danger to our own lives and sanity. Yay, 9 years in May. Sweet. We got sobriety coming up. Make sure you remind us so that we can do a little celebrating for you here. Under these compulsions of self-preservation, duty, and love, it is not strange that our society has concluded that it has but one high mission: to carry the AA message to those who do not know that there is a way out. Are you listening to that whole thing? People, but they know about AA. Everybody knows about AA. Shut up and go. So what? I don't know how many times, because before when I was in AA in the 90s, people, I didn't really know about AA. Now everybody knows about AA, blah, 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 whatever, right? Okay. But that doesn't change anything. They still misunderstand. This is what I hear now. This is not what I expected AA to be. That's what I hear now. That means that they knew about AA, probably from TV, blah, 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 from all sorts of things. We got TV shows about AA. It's called Mom or something like that. I heard it's a pretty good show. Highlighting the wisdom of AA single purpose, a member tells this story. Restless one day, I felt I'd better do some 12-step work. I think it's the one. Yes, it is. I love this one. Maybe I should take out some insurance against a slip. But first, I'd have to find a drunk to work on. Do your thought process ever work that way? If not, you got to change it. Okay, you don't maybe have to put it in that, but when I get up in the morning, I ask God to help me help at least one person. Yeah, I heard it's a really good show, and a lot of people, it's doing some good. Hell yeah, I'm all for it then. So I hopped the subway to Towns Hospital, where I asked Dr. Silkworth if he had a prospect. Nothing too promising, the little doc said. There's just one chap on the 3rd floor who might be a possibility, but he's an awfully tough Irishman. I never saw a man so obstinate. He shouts that if his partner would treat him better and his wife would leave him alone, he'd soon solve his alcohol problem. He's got a bad case of DTs. He's pretty foggy, and he's very suspicious of everybody. Doesn't sound too good, does it? That actually sounds great to me. But working with him may do something for you. So why don't you have a go at it? Do you hear what Dr. Silkworth said? He said, yes, I'm going to provide you with this person, because if you try to help this person, or even willing to do it and go talk with this person, you are putting insurance in against the possible next slip. Go Go back and read Dr. Bob's Nightmare. Read what Dr. Bob had to say. He was all about this, and he was fantastic at it. I was soon sitting beside a big hulk of a man, decidedly unfriendly. He stared at me with out of eyes which were slits in his red and swollen face. I had to agree with the doctor. He certainly didn't look good. But I told him of my own story. I explained what a wonderful fellowship we had, how well we understood each other. I bore down hard on the hopelessness of the drunk's dilemma. I insisted that few drunks could ever get well on their own steam, but that in our groups we could do together what we could not do separately. He interrupted to scoff at this and asserted he'd fix his wife, his partner, and his alcoholism by himself. Sarcastically, he asked, "How much does your scheme cost?" Dollar. And you don't even need to put that in, right? I was thankful I could tell him nothing at all. His next question, what are you getting out of it? Be ready for these questions. Okay? In sales, we call them rebuttals. Yes, you're a salesperson. I don't care what you say. I'm not a salesperson. Now, if you've ever been in a relationship, you are. All right. Still dubious, he demanded, do you really mean the only reason you are here is to try and help me and to try and help yourself? Yes, I said, that's absolutely all there is to it. There's no angle. Then, hesitantly, I ventured to talk about the spiritual side of our program. Here it comes, friends. What a freeze that drunk gave me. I'd no sooner got the word spiritual out of my mouth than he pounced. Oh, he said, now I get it. You're prophesizing for some damn religious sect or other. Where you get that no angle stuff? I belong to a great church that means everything to me. You've got nerve to come in here and talking about religion. And isn't he correct in that? He is. Not correct. But in his mind, in his purview, that's the way he sees it. Didn't we all go through this? I went through it. I'll take care of it myself. And it never did work, right? Nowadays, most people know. Okay, we're back to I knew about AA, but I didn't know it was like this. See, a lot of people are because the word God comes up a lot, they think we're a religious program when we are a spiritual program. I'm not going to go into the differences on that today. Okay. And they come in and they're like, oh, I can pick. Nobody's going to tell me what higher power I have to go with. And that's kind of what made the difference. See, when you actually feel like you have, and it's not real control or power, but when you feel that way, things will change. That's where the psychic change may. Oh, okay. Well, I misunderstood that. Oh, when I talk to new people, what I bring up is the word naive. And what I do is I tell them how I am naive about several different things. And then I was naive when I came into the program. So I understand where they're at. See how I did not, it's a we thing. All right. But I love Bill's answer here. Thank heaven I came up with the right answer for that one. It was based foursquare on a single purpose of AA. You have faith, I said. Perhaps far deeper faith than mine. No doubt you're better taught in religious matters than I can tell you now, most people are more aware of religious matters than I am. That's why I'm not quick to judge religious people. I used to be, but that's because I couldn't see the forest for the trees yet. Okay. Does my brain still not want to go to church? It does and it doesn't, right? Oh, that's going to get into a much different conversation. I'm sorry. All right. So I can't tell you anything about religion. I don't even want to try. I'll bet too that you could give me a letter perfect definition of humility. But what from you told me about yourself and your problems and how you propose to lick them, I think I know what's wrong. Okay. What comes up next are the things that we get to say because of our experience, strength, and our hope. Because we are God's children, and as God's children, we stand on our own 2 feet and we bow before no one. No one. Kind of like the hobbits. They told the hobbits, you don't bow before anyone, right? Yeah. See? Very good point, Gary. A lot of people don't know about OA or ACA or CODA or Gamblers Anonymous or why? Because they're anonymous. But they're out there. They are out there. All right. Thank you, Gary. Good point. Okay, he said, give me the business. Well, I said, I think you're just a conceited Irishman who thinks he could run the whole show. Has nothing to do with God. Oh, yes, I think that's hilarious. Was it funny at the time? Probably not, but I bet he told his story later and said, and this is what he said to me, and dang, that made sense. Okay, this is a picture perfect example of one alcoholic working with another alcoholic. Picture perfect. This really rocked him, but as he calmed down, he began to listen while I tried to show him that humility was the main key to sobriety. Finally, he saw I wasn't attempting to change his religious views, that I wanted him to find the grace in his own religion that would aid his recovery. From there on, we got along fine. Now, concludes the old timer, suppose I've been obliged to talk to this man on a religious grounds. Suppose my answer had to be that AA needed a lot of money, that AA went in for education, hospitals, and rehabilitation. Suppose I had suggested that I'd take a hand in his domestic and business affairs. Where would that have wound up? No place, of course. Years later, this tougher Irishman liked to say, my sponsors sold me on one idea, and that was sobriety. At the time, I couldn't have bought anything else. Right? It is because Bill understood something. And thank God. I think God just gave it to him. Okay. He understood that you got to meet people where they are at. If you've done the steps, you need to meet people where they're at. If you're trying to help somebody else, okay, you cannot expect them to meet you where you are at, because that might not be possible for them. So if you approach a person not wanting, and you're actually wanting something, you're wanting to stay sober, aren't you? Isn't that wanting something? We're really not, though. Here's the thing. We already got what we wanted before we're even done with that conversation. See, what happens is the moment that you decide to go over and help that person, your spiritual axiom has changed. Your soul, your being, every part of you now is a vessel of God. So put your faith and your trust in God, walk over and just say hi. Hey, I've been where you're at. Do you need to talk? I'd be happy to talk to you. Huh? The meetings after the meetings, the meeting before the meeting. Meetings aren't an hour. They're an hour and a half to 2 hours. Hey, even my Zoom meetings, I show up 15 minutes early. Okay? It's where the camaraderie is. It's where you start to get to know. That's where you actually get to know people. Oh, I'm kind of going through this and add hassle of the DMV, and and these little things can be relieving, because when you're in a room of people that understand what you're going through, you don't have to describe it, and therefore you don't relive the trauma. Thank God. Literally, thank God. Our primary purpose is to help other alcoholics achieve sobriety. That's it. Okay? You don't need to be more than that. See, we're extremists. We're either going to be, a sponsor that is going to be a therapist and a lawyer, you're all on them, or it's going to be the opposite. Yeah, he never calls me back. Try to find some balance in there. I meet with my sponsees once a week. I let them know if you need me, give me a call. But we don't call and just chat. So, again, getting off on a different topic. So, what they described in there was setting yourself up for succession. Okay? Because there's only one real question. This is something Stacy and I covered the other day. There's only one real question. What are you doing right now to make the world a better place? Right now. Not what are you going to do in 20 minutes. All right. I want you to think on that stuff. Okay. It's really helped me. And I'll tell you what, since we had that conversation, it was yesterday actually, I feel more focused because it just made sense. Am I still not doing it? Yeah, it's really harder to stay exactly in the more. Yeah, it's tough to do. But the more you try and do it, the better you get at it. Ta-da, right? All right. Dion's talked way too long. Actually, I think I went like 3 minutes too long. Guys, I can tell. All right. I'm going to release you to the Kraken. Go enjoy your Easter. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day.